Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nobukuma. If it's your first time, thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, welcome back. So this is a little, don't mind him. This is a little impromptu thing. So I did say in my Thursday video that I traveled and I've actually been in South Africa just for a bit, quick in and out, and I'm at my sister and our husband's house. This is my sister and my brother-in-law. So I figured, you know what, let's do something fun, and they are baking a cake right now, and I thought, let me just put them in here and we'll just have a random conversation. So for a change, I'm going to be on the other side of the camera, and I'm just gonna be like talking to them and having a conversation about stuff. So yeah, hang around. So these guys got married in August last year, so I was like to them, you guys are pretty much still in your honeymoon phase. So maybe let's talk about that, like the transition from, you know, when you're single, you have your things in order and you are living alone and whatever. You're pretty much established. You have your own way of doing things, and then you have to like join your life with someone else. So I'd like to hear from them how it's been going, because yeah, I think it'd be fun to, yeah. So hi guys, do you wanna tell them your names?
Hi guys, Nomtandazo Blessings Kwebu.
Subs, yeah.
Sabelo Kwebu. So we are the bubbles. In English, Kwebu is bubbles.
Yeah, so okay, cool. So now I'm just gonna quickly jump to the other side of the camera and then we can kick this off. So they're baking at the same time, so we'll try and balance between the baking and the conversation. But yeah, hope you enjoy this.
Thanks, buddy.
So how has it been for you?
Yo, I have to watch so many soapies.
Why, to get an idea of what marriage is like?
Yo, so many soapies.
Did you have like any expectations, right? Or did you like get in with like a blank slate and you're like, we're just gonna figure this out? Or did you have any expectations? And if so, how have they played out?
Yeah, I did have expectations that maybe I was gonna be the one who spices up the moment, you know. But the soapies took my game away. Yeah, now I know what is happening in not Uza. What's that one?
House of Sweetie.
House of Sweet. Yo, House of Sweet.
With Dodo.
Like, I feel like I'm that uncle now. What's his name? Mulefi. I feel like I'm Mulefi. Otherwise, I know. It's hard sometimes. For example, you wake up, now you have to make sure you don't wake up your partner going to work. Yeah, no, you feel for them. What if they wake up and they never fall back to sleep again? So
because I struggle to sleep.
Exactly.
Especially when the room is bright.
Yeah, and I hate being disturbed in my sleep. So I feel that otherwise, no. It hasn't been a hassle really in that regard so far, because she's a crazy one also, like not that crazy but crazy good.
And what were your expectations, and how has it been?
Well, I'll say, after being told so many times by some friends and relatives that sometimes it's best to enter without quite a number of expectations, because once you get in with expectations, a long list, and then you're not met, and then it gets frustrated. So I think the major thing for me was I expected a partnership, really, in the marriage. Someone who would help me around the house. If I'm feeling lazy to cook, he's willing to cook. And so far, he's been that and more. Like, you know, I didn't expect to be a housewife so soon, but such is life.
Husband allowance, please.
Dude.
Okay.
Actually, she's lucky that she found me. I was already beyond, you know. I was almost a hooligan of soccer. Yo. I was so into soccer, guys.
Like he had a whole wig. He had a whole wig that has multiple. Yes, like that is. I saw a picture of him wearing a wig with multiple colors, like red, yellow, green, and he was posing like.
Do you think so? So has that calmed down now, or?
I don't even know what teams are playing at what stage. That's how off soccer I am. Like, so.
Do you think if you were still that into it, it might have caused some friction or sorts?
I would have been away from here for many days, going to games, because I was already planning on following games even as far as Cape Town. Or if a team is playing maybe regional, I'll go to, maybe a team is playing in Zambia, I'll even follow it there. So really, she is lucky.
And then maybe let's take a step back.
Yes.
Before you guys got married, you guys were in a long distance relationship pretty much for the whole of your relationship before you got married.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How was it for you? How did you keep things going and manage to even reach a stage where you get married? Because a lot of people will try this long distance thing and it just doesn't work and they break up. But the fact that you guys stuck it out until you got married, to me, says that you did something right in a sense. How was it? How the challenges? How you overcame them? What you would say to someone who's in a long distance relationship?
Don't you want to respond to that first?
Okay. So, well, for me, it wasn't that difficult because all my relationships have been long distance. But I think what made it hard was it was long distance, and then a few months later, COVID happened and the whole lockdown. So that made things a little bit hard because of the lockdowns. We couldn't see each other, we couldn't travel. So we had to maximize on video calls, on WhatsApp calls to stay in touch, not just voice calls. I used to cry a lot for the video calls so that at least you feel like the person is there because you can see them, right?
Yeah, you really did. I'll go to that Wi-Fi, I don't know for how many hours. But really, that's what really kept us. I think, I believe what really kept this relationship going during that time is that we, from the onset, we said our fears or weaknesses or shortcomings in as far as distance relationship is concerned, and we agreed. We thought, okay, no, when it comes to this, my viewpoint is this, I am this and this. And that made me very, what can I say? I was confident, so she's understanding about the distance thing, so I didn't have a problem with it. I was like, so she is the one actually. Yeah, from what I wrote been told by Lieutenant. So when we're in the relationship now, it kind of like, the practical side of the theory anyway. So that was it,
Yeah, like when we started talking, I remember, when there's the whole get to know me stage. And I say to him, let's not talk about the good side, because the good side will always come out. But let's tap into the bad side. What are you like? Like, what are you like when you're angry and stuff like that? Let's talk about the negatives. Let's talk about maybe our childhood traumas, Let's tap into that. Things that people hardly ever talk about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most people will end up even in these abusive relationships because in the beginning we're all showing face. You want to be this good person because you want the person. So we had to tap into the negatives, and then that made things a whole lot more easier, right?
Yeah, we were free to be us, like to just relax in it and not be superficial, so to say.
So let me latch on to that. The weakness is the bad side. Conflict resolution. I find that from my experience, the types of conflicts that you have before you get married and after you get married, especially in the first few months, are different, right? So like before you get married, it's like, Sapedo, you didn't call me or whatever. And then obviously there's the conflict that comes with preparing for your wedding. That one I don't even want to talk about it. It's just the worst. And then, but that the difference with conflict before you get married and after you get married, that before you get married, you can kind of be like, what, bye, and just like switch off your phone, which is not good. I'm not saying you should do that, but we have the space and the liberty to be like, I'm disengaging from this, I'll come back when I'm fine. But then when you're in a marriage and you're living together, this person is still there, sitting there, being happy whilst So how has, especially in the first few months, you fight about the smallest things like habits, right? So I like to pinch the toothpaste from the middle and you like to pinch it from the bottom, and all those things. So I think the thing is, usually when we talk about conflict, we want to conflict resolution, we like to focus on the big things, so see a counselor, speak about each other's feelings. But I want us to talk about like the little petty stuff, like how did you find rhythm, and if you have even found rhythm, how did you find rhythm and make sure that you don't let those small mundane things end up blowing up and stealing the honeymoon joy?
First of all, I feel like this thing of the first year of your marriage is the honeymoon phase, guys. It's not true. I feel like it's not true, because the first year is when you guys are really like trying to find that rhythm. You're learning about, like you're saying, it was a long distance, and now we're living together under the same roof. And you're realizing, Wuti, maybe he likes to sleep with the light on, you want the light off. I can't sleep with the light on. I need the darkness. And so we'll fight about tiny little things like, dude, I asked you to cover the curtains because I can't sleep in a bright room. And he's now sleeping, by the way, he knocks out in like 10 seconds. And I'm like, no, I have to climb and try and put it there. And then maybe you speak more about the resolution part.
The resolution part, like
how do we resolve?
Or we'll just, for example, I would have to have my sessions with OPK, recording sessions. I would cancel them. I would tell, dude, I have a family crisis, a family issue to attend to, just like that. So I'll prioritize. I think that went a long way, just to prioritize those small stuff, to say to yes, because she will, as much as I would know, this is really important. We have to fix things there and then. So I think that one went a long way, and we will sit down and talk. Put our phones aside. If you are eating, stop eating. It's just the two of us.
And talk.
Yeah, that one really, I think it's really going a long way for us. And we were having a culture of, lately we're not doing it, a culture of love check-in every month. So that one keeps us on the check.
Yeah, I think when we used to have the love check-ins, I noticed we hardly used to fight as much. But ever since we stopped having those, because like with our love check-ins, we have different activities. So maybe I would be asking him, how has married life been like so far? What am I doing right? What are you doing wrong, and stuff like that, and we talk about that. And I think he works more as the guy who just calms things down. So I'm more vocal than him. So when we're now having the engagement, sometimes it might reignite that anger feeling that I had. So sometimes when he sees what our sis is now just going on, he's like, you know what, I'm done. We'll talk in another time. You need to cool down. And then, and now we wanted to be like, no, let's finish this thing now. And he will go to sleep like that, because I always had this rule that I don't want to sleep angry at my person. In marriage, guys,
you will sleep.
You will sleep.
You know that thing that you used to do on your days where you're like, okay, at 1 a.m. you're like, actually I can't sleep, can we talk? In marriage, you sleep and you wake up and you bath and you go to work and then you come back and maybe it will be fine.
And I feel like even when you're dating, I don't know, there was the whole thing of, because of the distance, you don't know what might happen. What if tomorrow I get out of the house and I get hit by a car or something like that? So we used to solve our issues before we sleep. But in marriage, I have slept. He will sleep like a baby, and you act like nothing happened. Give me my usual kisses, good night, baby. And I'm like, dude, I'm still boiling.
I love you, whatever season.
And at that time, I won't be loving you. I'll be liking you, but I won't be loving you.
Okay, so I like what you just spoke about him still giving you your usual kiss and all that, and I want to draw from that also and say, I think it's important that even when there's conflict or whatever, that you take time to make sure that your person knows that they're still loved, and to make sure that it's clear that we're not fighting the person. There's a problem that we both need to fix, and we're on one team, and we need to try and fix it. So this is not a me against you thing; it's an us against the problem. And I think it's important to protect your partner's feelings, even when you guys are not like on the best. Exactly. And I think it's beautiful that you
Yeah, and he sometimes kind of he calms me down, and before I know it, I'm already laughing. Especially when it's not the big issues. So maybe he'll just give me a kiss, or then later on, maybe like 10 minutes later, he'll say something funny. And you know when you're still trying to hold this I'm mad at you face, and then he does the randomest things. The next thing I'm laughing, and we forget to even finish the conversation.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then let's move away from the two of you guys a bit and expand. In-laws, family, and all that. Like, how have you found that integration? Because at least in our culture, where people get married, you don't just marry a person, you marry a family. So family dynamics and building relationships with your in-laws, how have you found that? Has it been an easy thing to gel in with everyone, and how you navigate those?
Okay. So for me, well, gosh. So before getting married, my prayer has always been my husband should be in good books with his siblings and all that, and I want to get into a family that is loving, because you hear of people having, my sister's-in-law are like this. So it's funny that I gel so much with his siblings. He would actually even complain that, oh, okay, so you talk to my sister more than I do. So, and if I need him to ask something maybe from the sister, he's like, you guys are ones of friends. So that on the siblings part, I mean, I met him through one of his siblings. It has been nice. With my parents-in-law, so I've had the privileges of staying with them for weeks on end and stuff like that. Well, I met the mom long back. She's like the older version of me. So we actually call each other sisters. She doesn't call me Makoti or Manurazana. She calls me now. We're like sisters. I mean, guys, if we sit in a room together, there is noise. We are laughing now.
That's the problem.
That's beautiful. I think that is very heartwarming, because the century-old tale has been that mothers-in-law and their daughters-in-law are just they just butt heads all the time. So it's actually it's beautiful, and it goes to show in the point that I've seen a meme that says don't stop telling people that marriage is hard. They're not married to your spouse, right? Say my spouse is difficult, So I think it so tying that into that. So don't go around saying that the daughter and mother-in-law relationship is hard, or mothers-in-laws are difficult, whatever, because we are not marrying your mother-in-law's son, right? So it's beautiful that you guys have a relationship of your own, and it's working, and I mean you even call each other sister. I think it's just beautiful. And
his dad is so sweet. Like, he literally calls me Mtanami, how are you, daughter? And you see that he when he's concerned, if something is happening towards me, there's a time we're in an accident, and you could see that the concern is not about his son, but he was equally concerned. He was equally concerned for the both of us, and you could tell that this guy literally just takes me like one of his children, not Emma Koti, but like one of his children. So we have this, it's a beautiful relationship. Sometimes I'm like, gosh, did I really win the lotto?
And they already eating in the same room.
Oh yes, culturally.
Oh, that's a strong one. If we get into that one, it's
So, but that's how good the relationship is.
And on your end.
And from my side, actually, when I was going to Vela, remember
to pay dowry.
Remember that you were there and BK. So it got me thinking. So BK is here to establish the relationship with his in-laws. So I want to do the same thing. Break those. Somehow I feel they are needless, man. Those boundaries. They alienate us from the other side of the family. So in December, I told her, now we have to go. My parents were like, hey, what are you talking about? That can't happen.
That is for you guys to stay at our parents' house, because culturally it's not common.
And they thought I was joking. We pegged, just like that. We went and spent days. It was
the weekend.
Beautiful. I can't even remember. And then we even went back there again during the wedding, which
the
was
second wedding.
No, 2 different weddings. There's given.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So we also spent days there. I think 2 days.
And you got to spend. He traveled with my mom, just the 2 of them. I wasn't there with the rest of the family. So he got to experience my side of the
without
family
you shielding
without me
him
shielding.
or holding his hand and
Yes.
trying to, you know.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he actually is the one who helped with the transport arrangements. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, cool, go spend time with the family at large
Yeah.
and build your own
Yeah,
life.
so to me that was beautiful. And I told you, I want, when I'm visiting, I don't want it to be a taboo to first visit the Sibanda side first, you know. I want it to be natural.
That
to
I'm
me.
at home.
And to me it's natural. I want to first in Kensington, from Kensington then I can go anywhere. We agreed, at least the two of us, we agreed from the onset, what we want to, if there is at all, we want to establish our own way of living.
Exactly.
Yes, we don't want to follow those rules which will make even our children. I want our children to be your children, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they should say mom to you or dad to PK in as much as they say to us, and even yours.
Yeah.
So that we break that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that weekend helped you when I think there was time you spent with mom by the two of you at the wedding, made it easy when I wasn't there and he was just him and mom in the house together here. I feel like,
When we in hospital, yeah.
yeah.
That really worked, you're right. Yeah.
So they now have their own relationship. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And then with siblings, I mean, you've spoken like I'm the sibling, like say something. Say something.
I think I already mentioned that.
Yeah, you did, but like I've been waiting here, like, can you say something?
I probably know you're too far. But anyway, especially somehow you're like my baby sister.
Not somehow.
No, like you're like Uvezo. You are a reserved, outgoing person. Like I don't know how that is. Like you are. So the way I relate with you, I already relate with Uvezo. So to me,
I feel like sometimes you even favor her more than me. Like now when you
I'm a guest.
yeah, but in general, even when you are not there and we're talking, like you can see the way he talks about you. Maybe he'll say, "Oh, sorry." You can tell, Mamuti, he doesn't see you like as a sister-in-law. Like he's saying, it's like you are my sibling.
Yeah.
You know. And how about with PK?
Yeah, you guys. I don't know, man. But OPK, from the moment I asked him about the software engineering thing, I went to his place. Yo, he couldn't stop talking. He was on and on. And that, to me, he came out as someone who is open and willing not to embrace. And already, I was already, in a relationship with him like this. So when we finally met now for maybe days and all that, that December, it was already beautiful. And from then on, only days, we need more days, guys.
We do, that distance,
This
this long
distance
distance
is kidding us. This distance is kidding us. Yeah, but otherwise beautiful.
Okay, I'm back in the frame now just to wrap it up. So, what do you guys, just in very short words, what do you have to say for other people in a long distance relationship trying to figure out if this will work, or people who are newlyweds? I know you guys are relatively newlyweds anyway, but I feel like we can still learn from each other's experiences. You don't have to have the most experience to be able to give advice on something. From the little that you have, what would you say keeps your spark alive, and what should people do more of in relationships? Not just marriage.
Well, I would say for any relationship to work, you need communication, right? And you need more communication in a long distance relationship because that's all you have. You don't have dates, you don't have meetups and stuff like that. So be conscious of the fact that you know that you're in a long distance relationship. Spice things up. We would have phone dates. I dress up and he's dressed up, especially on our love check-ins.
Oh yeah.
And make it feel like you're on a proper date.
Like as if it's a picnic, you bring food.
Yeah.
Like that. Exactly.
He's eating that side, I'm eating this side, And guys, so this love check-in thing, I got it from one of the Mary sisters. And I felt like we should try it out. And for us, like we mentioned, that actually kept us more together than the times now when we're not. It solves a lot of problems because it's a love check-in. You're checking in on your partner to see how they're doing in this relationship. How are they feeling about the relationship?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, how can we work on the relationship? What can we do better? What can we improve? Can we stop, and like that?
Yeah, and another crucial part is when starting, like, be upfront about it. When it comes to long distance, my fears are 1, 2, 3. You know, like, be honest and upfront about it, so that you don't keep the next person guessing.
Yeah.
And at least you're at ease about everything, in as far as long distance is concerned. But if you're already in, whether it's not marriage or in marriage, I love checking. To me does it.
And have these little traditions that
develop
define
your
you
own.
guys. So, for example, one of our traditions, when we're meeting, whatever, we kiss 3 times. Why 3 times? I love you. So he knows when he gives me 1 kiss, I'm like, and then, you know, because you just said I. So it's those little traditions.
Even in church.
Even in church.
After amen, you kiss.
Well, when he used to try, and I'm like, yo. But have those little family traditions that keep the fire burning, that keep reminding you why we're doing it. So you'll be knowing each time he's giving me 3 kisses, I love you. Whether he wants to give it on the forehead or on the side cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, this was fun. I hope our take is going to be good. I don't know. But I think this was fun. Thank you guys for literally, like, they were right in the middle of baking, and I was like, do you guys want to be on my YouTube channel? And they're like, yeah, sure. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and share and subscribe. Do all those things. I'm joking. Exactly. Click that button below.
And click that notification
Bell,
bell.
so that every time when I upload something, then you'll know and you won't miss anything.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
To tell their sister and then their mother and then their church group.
Oh,
and like that. Cool. Alright, bye guys. See you guys next time.
Thank you, Swati.